Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Zymax, and I'm your chief show attendant. On behalf of the two hosts and the rest of the crew, welcome aboard Weird Wednesday Flight number 13, non-stop, from your current location to parts unknown. Our flight will be at about 2 hours, and we'll be flying at the speed of sound. At this time, make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position, and that your seatbelt is currently fastened. Enjoy the ride.
What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to another Weird Wednesday in the weird world. How's it going, Jamie?
It's going.
It's going. What's up, everybody in the chat room? How are y'all doing on this wonderful, wickedly Wednesday evening, as Jamie said? A lot of weird going on in the world. I say that every week.
It's only going to get weirder. It's only just begun.
Yep.
Want to fast track it to 2020? I'd pump the brakes just a little bit there because 2021 is not going to be any better.
Probably not. Oh, well. It's okay. I've got like 12,000 rounds of 22 ammo and a bunch of really good 22s, so I can squirrel hunt and rabbits and pigeons and whatever. I won't go hungry. Hopefully I can grow some vegetables again.
Not with the brain-eating amoeba freaking soil going around.
Yeah, can't dig in the dirt.
Dig in the dirt.
I didn't plant any of those weird Chinese seeds, though, so maybe I'm safe.
Did you get some?
No, I did not. Thank goodness.
Mine ended up being, almost just as toxic.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, Keith, the background. Had to do one for good old Eddie Van Halen. Love him or hate him, he changed the guitar world. That's for sure. I remember
legend
78, I think, when the Van Halen album came out. And back in the day when you used to go around and pick up like soda bottles and you could take them and turn them in for money. Between that and cutting yards, me and my buddy we had our own little entrepreneurial business going on. And I remember I went and bought, right after I got out of school, I ran down to the record shop and bought the new Van Halen and brought it home. Well, I brought it to my grandparents because I would go to my grandparents' house after school. I think I was 14. and they had this big old, like one of those cabinet stereos, you know, had a record player and a big, huge receiver and stuff in it. And I put that album on and cranked it. And yeah, my grandparents were freaking out. It was like Running with the Devil was playing. They were ready to have me
Nice.
exercised. But I was just like totally mind blown.
That's awesome. See, we had MTV. We're the first house in Moss Beach to get MTV. We got it for free. I was 5. I was little. Had my Fisher Price cassette player. My dad would record the songs I liked. It was like Quarter Flash at the time, Harden My Heart. The
Yep.
video of the motorcycles, because all the bikers that rolls around. I just love that video. And then, you know, AC/DC and all that. That's what he recorded for me. That's what I carried around on my Fisher Price little radio.
Yep.
Growing up with MTV, back with the Space Guy, and
Yeah, exactly. It's funny. You can watch like old episodes, old reruns of MTV. It's like, I think it's on YouTube. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like the MTV Time Vault or something like that. And they have like, I don't know, 10 years of MTV when it used to be music television.
like the old Headbangers Ball.
Yeah, like from day one. Like you
Wow.
can watch it from the start. Yeah, Martha Quinn, and like they have them all on there. It's pretty cool.
Pauly Shore. Yeah, what was it? Pauly Shore? No.
I think he was on there for a bit later.
The guy with the short black hair. And then, and the guy with the long black hair. Ricky Rackman.
Yep. Headbangers Ball.
Yeah. I don't know how I remembered that. Yeah, I skipped the Disney. Went right to the hard stuff.
Yep. Yeah, JL graduated in 79. I was like 80, 81. It was right after that.
I was 95.
Yep, back when MTV was good. I remember I fell asleep one night. That was like, it was right after, like, right when MTV first started coming on. And I fell asleep one night. I was sleeping downstairs in the old house I grew up in because my room was freezing upstairs. And there was a fireplace downstairs, and I had the pull-out couch, you know, right by the fireplace. Was all chilling, watching MTV, and I fell asleep. And sometime in the middle of the night, I awoke and heard this crazy noise, and I roll over and I look at the TV, and it's the scene out of The Exorcist where Reagan's in the bed, like, blah, her head's spinning around and she's spewing pea soup out. Yeah. The Exorcist was on, and I woke up in the middle of it, and I was like, holy shitters. Yeah.
Nice.
That movie definitely, every time I see one of those things, it was like, what movie, you know, really kind of like got to you? And that the original Exorcist is one of them. Still to this day, some parts of that movie are hard to watch.
Was it you? I was telling you my mom saw it at the theater, or it might have been Debbie. But that's one that she got to see at the theater, and she said like the looks on the people's faces, like she'll never forget. That
Yeah.
was. It's a movie I wish I could have seen.
Yeah.
When it came out like that, experienced that at that time.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater at a later time, and it was pretty intense. And the other movie, that completely different movie, not really a horror movie, but the other movie that I felt like I was going to have a heart attack in was the original Godfather. For some reason, that movie like really like tensed me out.
Scared of getting whacked.
Something, I don't know. May have been a what is it? A life regression thing? May have been.
Oh yeah. You could have been a mobster in the past.
I could have been a mobster, or I could have been whacked by the mobsters. Who knows? I don't know.
Well, if you're feeling anxiety, you probably weren't like gaudy or anything.
Yeah, I was anxietied out during that movie. I've watched it since then, and it didn't do that. But for some reason, then, who knows?
I have flashbacks.
Yeah, Jaws, man. When Jaws came out, that was pretty intense too. And me, growing up being a surfer and living, geez, at that time, probably 75% of my waking hours was in the ocean. Jaws kind of was like, like every time I went in the ocean after that, I was kind of like,
You hear it in your head.
Yeah. Yep. Sitting out there, like, early morning, like the sun's just coming up. And you hear that in your head. Dun, 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 dun,
Looking for
dun,
the
dun, dun, dun.
dorsal fin out there.
Yeah, the birds. That was another good one.
Oh,
Alfred Hitchcock. Ever since I saw that movie, every time, it's still to this day, like when I see a bread truck like driving down the road, Marita bread or something, I'm like, wonder why, what would happen if the birds like were to be a real thing and hey, there's a bread truck. Let's attack it. I don't know. That's just the way my weird brain works. Yeah, I went and saw Jaws. Darcy and me went and saw Jaws. It was probably almost a year ago now. Our theater here does these Sunday retro. Well, they used to, before all hell broke loose. They were doing these retro movies on Sundays. And one Sunday it was Jaws. So we went back to the theater to see it. And it was pretty awesome.
I agree, Keith. Like Freddy Krueger and all those movies don't scare me, but Saw tripped me out because there's a lot of people that actually do stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's something that can actually happen.
Yeah.
I mean, a dude could also chase you around the woods with a machete and a mask, but, he's not going to jump up every time he gets shot and everything. Unless he's on bath salts.
Yeah. Yeah. Something about, those old
Oh,
movies.
yeah.
They definitely had a good creep factor to them. Like the new movies today, they're like, I mean, there's occasionally a good one here and there, but for the most part, they're just like a gore fest, and they, try to be like shocker movies, and
6 sound effects.
yeah, they don't have that creep factor of some of the older movies.
Or they didn't need all the CGI and the special effects and everything. It was just like a mind in its own.
Sometimes less is better,
Yeah.
Let your psychological mind run. Cool, Steve. Welcome aboard. We got some strange stories tonight. Some weird, weird news. I actually have a Florida man story. Haven't done one of those in a bit. And got a few. We got a little video, and then we got another Voices from Beyond cold case file. And who knows what else we have. I said in the little intro thing, who knows where the rabbit hole will lead. We only go scripted so far, and then the show just kind of goes where it wants to go. Last week it went
or scripted where though.
Yeah, last week it went to some pretty dark, sticky places.
Only if you were in Vietnam.
Well, yeah.
Are you starting the story, or are you going to?
If you want to go ahead, you can.
All right.
Which one you
Let's
doing?
start with the bird.
Jamie has her own folder here now on Dropbox.
You know what? I didn't send the bird article to myself, though it's still on my other phone. But I'm going to try to read it off the live one. British Wildlife Park removes 5 cursing parrots from public view. And in quotations, if they teach the others bad language and I end up with 250 swearing birds, I don't know what we'll do, the park's CEO said. A British wildlife park has removed 5 African gray parrots from public view because of the foul language. The wildlife park adopted the parrots about 6 weeks ago and put them in quarantine together. During their time together, the birds shared the ability to curse up a storm, something they engaged in quite often, according to the park CEO. I get called a fat T star T every. Well, I don't know what's T star T anyway.
Twat, maybe.
Oh, there you go. I've been trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I was gonna say twit, but
I get called a fat twat every time I walk past, he told CNN. Nicholas said potty-mouthed parrots aren't uncommon in his line of work. And I know that from these African grays. They are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. For the last 25 years, we have always taken in parrots that have sometimes had a bit of blue language, and we have really got used to that. Every now and then you'll get one that swears, and it's always funny. We always find it very comical when they do swear at you. But just by coincidence, we took in 5 in the same week. And because they were all quarantined together, it meant that one room was just full of swearing birds. The more they swear, the more you'll usually laugh, which then triggers them to swear more. Nicholas said the cursing birds sounded like an old working men's club scenario where they are all just swearing and laughing. Although he and fellow park employees found the whole thing funny, Nicholas said he decided it would be best to move the cursing birds out of view before visiting kids heard them. The birds have each been moved to different groups, and Nicholas said the plan is to put them in separate areas of the park. So at least if they do swear, it's not as bad as 3 or 4 of them blasting it all out at once. The reasoning. Nicholas said he also hopes the cursing parrots learn nicer words from their new cage mates because he dreads the alternative.
Oh, yeah. It's cussing. You know the birds are going to learn all the bad words from these birds.
Well, yeah, these are the influencers here.
Yep.
I think they might have had a video. I don't know, but I didn't want to risk getting us pulled.
Yeah. That reminds me of a story from here. There was an old house right on the corner of King Street and US 1. There was a Hardee's restaurant, and I forget what it used to be before it was Hardee's, but there was an old house right in back of it. And it's right on King Street, which is on West King Street, which is kind of down where I live. It's kind of the hood. And there was a big old parrot on that cage for years that he was on the porch in a cage, I should say. And we'd always ride our bikes up there. And this parrot, it was like one of these. It was like the most foul-mouthed parrot ever. And I'm surprised that nobody ever killed it, because it would have never survived in today's day and age, being that everything is racist. And I'll let your mind go imagine the words that this parrot would scream out.
Oh, I got you.
And every other one as well. And it was, you know, being a kid, I mean, we'd ride our bikes by there and yell at the parrot, and he'd just start cussing at us. It was like the funniest thing ever. But yeah, I'm surprised nobody ever like shot that bird. For years it was out there. The custom parrot. All right, what do I have? I'll do this one first, I think. It's one of those strange, weird, kind of strange stories. Not really paranormal, or who knows? Maybe it is. I don't know. A Georgia mom who vanished after a July 4th party was found dead in her car in a busy area, says the family. A Georgia mother of two who disappeared after leaving a 4th of July party was found dead in her car, which was recently discovered in a well-traveled area. Natalie Jones, 27, of Cornish, had driven to Jackson's Gap, Alabama. Do you know where that is, Keith? He's from Alabama. About an hour from her home to celebrate July 4th with her friends. Jones, who has two sons, 11 and 8, left the party about 10:30 p.m., sending a text to a friend who was at the party saying, "I made it. Thanks." Authorities launched a massive search for Jones at the bright pink car she was driving on Tuesday. Georgia Bureau of Investigation announced on Twitter that Jones, everybody announces everything on Twitter now. Thanks, Trump. They announced that Jones' 2002 Chevrolet Cavalier had been found in Heard County. The car was found in Franklin, Georgia, in the woods off Roosterville Road. Now, they said it was in a heavily traveled area, but now they're saying it was found in the woods. So, I don't know, maybe the woods in Franklin County are heavily traveled. Authorities found a body inside the car, which has yet not been identified, pending an autopsy. The GBI said in the tweet, but outlets including Fox 5 Atlanta, 11 Alive, and the LaGrange Daily News Report all confirmed that it was her. She did not deserve this because she was a good girl, said Jones's mother, Elaine Gordon. Jones learned about the discovery on Tuesday afternoon after Fox 5 Atlanta reports. When Jones vanished and her phone last was pinged in Heard County, officials and family members scoured the area looking for Jones in her conspicuously colored car, but they came up empty. Local residents told Fox 5 Atlanta that the area where her car was found is a well-traveled area and that it wasn't there on Monday. Although Jones had texted her friend, said she had made it, Heard County Sheriff's Office Lieutenant Danny Boswell pointed out that she didn't say where she made it to. She just said, "I made it. Thanks." There was no further communication after that, and no other texts were received. Her phone last pinged on a cell tower at 5:15 a.m. on July 5th in Heard County, in the opposite end of the county from her home. On the night Jones vanished, she had also been communicating with someone on social media and on some app. Authorities are trying to access the records of those communications. As authorities investigate whether Jones met with foul play, her family is left to grapple with her mysterious death. So yeah, it was just another one of those going to a party, whoosh, vanished, and then they find her later on dead in her car in a heavily traveled area in the woods. Must have been like off the well-traveled area in the woods, but she was driving a bright pink car, so.
Well, I mean, the woods, when people live in certain places, it could be a well-traveled place through the woods.
Yeah.
Even like a path, like a whole bunch of people live a certain direction. There might be like a certain road, that all the residents go down to get to another area.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't really say what they thought her cause of death was yet. I'm not really
How
sure.
long? How long ago?
Well, the article was from just what did it say? The article was like very recent, but it was talking about she disappeared on July 4th. But the article came out on October 7th, so it just happened to pop up today. Actually, that's how I saw it.
Yeah, the autopsy shouldn't take more than a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It shouldn't take more than a week.
Yeah.
Well, especially somewhere like that, I don't think they have that many bodies that are being processed right now.
Yeah. What are you doing next?
Well, I guess the one about the murder hornet. They had found the one dead murder hornet. And now the first live murder hornet has been captured in the U.S.
Murder hornets.
When residents of northern Washington state noticed Asian giant hornets visiting a paper wasp nest on the eaves of their house, they took quick action. They trapped and photographed two of the so-called murder hornets and contacted the Washington State Department of Ag. Sven told reporters on October 2nd. Later, entomologist Chris Looney visited the property and another hornet stopped by. Looney captured the hornet in a net, making it the first live Asian giant hornet captured in the United States. Live captures provide an opportunity that sightings and discovering dead insects do not. The entomologists attempted to glue a tracking device to the live hornet's back so that they could follow it to its nest. So like a little GoPro on it. Mm-hmm. The WSDA hopes to eradicate hornet nests before the species. Oh, it's going to be a suicide bomb one. You're going to send one of the hornets in as a suicide bomber.
Kamikaze hornet.
Hopes to eradicate hornet nests before the species establishes itself on the West Coast, where it could find an ample habitat, according to the National Academy of Sciences. But when the team tried to glue the tracker to the insect's back, only was the hornet uncooperative, but the glue didn't dry fast enough, and the tracking device fell off. By the time the plus they have those, you know how their little hairs and stuff are.
Yeah.
By the time the team tied the device, the insect with a piece of thread, one of its wings had touched the wet glue, leaving the hornet unable to fly.
Wow.
They plan to use what they learned in the first attempt the next time they have an opportunity to track a live hornet. They have set up sentinel hives, which are beehives with a small grate on top that allows honeybees to pass but catches giant hornets in the area. They hope to catch another hornet in the next few weeks. We have peppered the area with 30 live traps, he said in a press conference. We're probably going to snag one, if not more of them, and we'll be able to give this another try. Then there's you have it. I think the picture of like holding the hornet. Asian giant hornets usually grow to about 2 inches long, have large orange heads with black oval-shaped eyes, and build their nests underground. The murder hornet arose when Mike Baker reported on the first sightings earlier this year, while the hornets pose little danger to humans or pets unless, I don't know, I lost a piece of this.
I'm just picturing the one-wing murder hornet like hobbling around, like
that's just horrible.
Flying in a circle.
So basically, they set up a bunch of phone lines and all this stuff. If you catch one, see him, blah blah blah. I think that's just, they really tried to glue a tracker to a hornet.
Well, they used thread too. It was an epic fail. An epic fail. The murder hornet was like, haha.
I mean,
better than you.
They have all that special stuff on them, so like water, comes. I mean, glue isn't going to stick to them. Well, I guess it didn't dry fast enough.
Yeah.
And then the weight. Do you think it could fly with all that weight on it?
I don't know. It's a pretty big ass Hornet.
Yeah.
So who knows?
People are
Obviously,
mean.
it didn't work.
I was all feeling bad and crying about this grasshopper on my door yesterday because he was so cute. But he only had one leg, so I felt like crap. He's climbing all the way up the door. I'm like, oh, he's only got one leg. And then I went and put him back in the bushes. Then I seen he only had one antenna, and I felt like crap. This poor little grasshopper. Moved him so he wouldn't get smashed. And these people are just gluing the wings.
Nice.
It's mean.
Well, this is a short one, but hey, it's a Florida man story. Since I'm here in Florida, I hadn't done one in a while. Although there have been some strange stories of Florida. But this guy Florida man, wearing only his underwear, steals mail and attacks homeowner.
He's a pantsless porch pirate.
A pantsless porch pirate. In Hawthorne, Florida, a man faces multiple charges after authorities say he stole mail from a woman while only wearing his underwear. Maybe he was looking for something that didn't get delivered to him. From
pants.
His pants didn't get delivered. Perfect, Jamie. That explains it. His damn pants were late from Amazon. According to the police report, the woman discovered the man wearing only a pair of underwear. And why do they call it a pair of underwear? It's just underwear, isn't it? If you had a pair of underwear, you'd be wearing like 2 layers of underwear. According to the police report, the woman discovered the man wearing only a pair of underwear, taking mail out of her mailbox. When she questioned him, the Florida man, 64-year-old David Dunaway, began yelling and swung his fist at her through her car window, and he hit her with the stolen mail. The woman attempted to drive a bit and put some distance between himself and the Florida man, but then he began to chase after her. At this point,
his underwear.
In his underwear. I guess he threw the mail at her, so the mail that he stole was now back in the car with her. So now he's like a double failure. And
did he have shoes on?
I don't know. It says just his underwear, so I'm just picturing this strange-looking fellow in just a pair of dingy Grundies.
Look how pissed he still is at time of his mugshot.
At this point, the woman pulled out a gun and threatened to shoot him if he came any closer, to which the Florida man fled in his underwear.
Shit, his underwear.
Yeah, I wonder if he had bacon strips in his underwear after
Maybe.
that. Yeah. So there's a Florida man story. They're pretty much all like that. Pretty much just a rapid shit show.
Wow.
So the next one that I have, what is the next one that I have? Oh, here we go. Somebody, you guys may have heard of this one. Again, it's Florida. What can I say?
That's all you got to say.
That's all I got to say. Yeah, but this one kind of went around, so you may have seen this one. Florida man shoots through his windshield in a road rage, self-defense. You know, I carry a gun. Carrying a gun.
Oh my God.
Requires a great sense of responsibility. You don't just whip your gun out in the car and shoot through your own windshield just because you're pissed at the person in the car next to you.
They teach you defense how to properly shoot out if you have to shoot through your side windows. But the thing is, you shoot out your window, you got to then drive and you have no windshield and all that's going to go everywhere. Like,
yeah,
glass in your eyes.
But it is Florida. So I don't know if it's the heat and the humidity maybe combined. Makes people crazy here. Florida man is back. Yeah, in the water. Exactly. Brain eating amoebas. And this time he's shooting through his own windshield at another apparently armed driver, all while zipping down the highway. Let's add that in there. Marco Mazzetta posted his own dash cam footage showing him and a buddy driving in Orange County, Florida, when they encountered an aggressive Nissan 370Z driver.
Aggressive.
He pissed off Mazzetta so much that he opened fire. No, he didn't take his aim outside his driver's side window like in the movies. Instead, this guy literally just unloaded his gun through his own windshield.
That's
And
a
you gotta see how
fit.
that played out. What's that?
That's a fit. He threw a fit.
He threw a fit. Yeah. Shards of glass flying everywhere, and his poor friend in the passenger seat freaked out. As for why he fired, Mazzetta claims that the 370Z driver was tailgating him hard, so he brake checked him, causing the other driver to bump him from behind, which you can see in the video. Eventually, the Nissan speeds around Mazzetta's truck and zoomed in. And the zoomed in footage, Mazzetta claims you can see the other driver brandishing a gun. He said that's why he pulled his own piece from his waistband and fired a few rounds right through the windshield. It's wild, but it's justified, right?
No.
No, it's not.
No.
No, it's
No.
not. It's just not. No.
So many things wrong with that story.
Yeah. Mazzetta says he was defending himself, claiming that he feared for his life and his friends when he saw the other driver's gun. It's unclear if the Nissan got hit at all, but Mazzetta says he pulled off the freeway immediately and reported the incident himself. Doesn't appear anyone else has been arrested for this quite yet, but Orange County Sheriff's Office say they are investigating the incident. I can pretty much assure you somebody's going to get arrested.
All homie had to do was say, you know what, I'm just going to get off this dude's ass. Like, all right, you're riding his ass.
Yeah. Yeah, it's no, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
I mean, a little brake check here and there. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But
road rage does not constitute.
You don't even know if it's a real gun that guy even had.
Yeah.
Have you seen those new phones? It's a phone. It's a phone holder with. It looks like that your waistband carrying it.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's for your phone. But it looks like a gun sticking in your pocket.
Yeah.
How many people do you think are gonna get shot over that when they go to reach in their pocket and get their phone out?
Have you seen on the flip side of that? Have you seen the gun that looks like a phone?
No.
Yeah. It folds up. It's the same size. Like it looks like this.
Send it to me.
It unfolds and it's a gun.
Send it to me.
Yeah. They have one in the shop right up the road from me. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. No, I'm just going to end up getting in trouble with that.
I had a little lipstick 22 thing.
Yep.
All around. Pew.
Yeah, that kind of thing happens like, Fast and Furious and like the movies, but real life is not the movie.
And you don't shoot through your windshield. And you had a passenger in the car.
Yeah.
Like, that's just stupid. And then you think it's going to go through your glass, through their glass, and then what?
Yeah, there's just a whole lot of no's in that.
Then your car's screwed. Then your whole day's ruined because now you got to go to pick apart and go get a new windshield.
Yep. Not to mention, if you've ever heard a gun go off in a car, which I can say I have. Yeah, your ears are ringing for like a week.
Oh, yeah.
Don't ask me how I know.
Don't ask me either.
But it's extremely loud.
What an asshat.
Yep. You, sir, get the asshat award of the week.
Steve's our people. He pew pew.
Pew, pew, pew. Exactly.
Pew, pew.
Well, the other story I got here is a little video. It's about 5 minutes long for tonight's Legends and Lore and Weird Stories video.
Don't forget to grab your thing.
Yep. So I'm going to play this here video. And here we go. Tonight's Legends and Lore story: the mysterious case of Mary Reeser and spontaneous human combustion. When police found Mary Reeser in 1951, she was almost entirely ash, but mysteriously, the rest of her apartment remained almost perfectly intact. Called the Cinder Woman case, the story of Mary Reeser of St. Petersburg, Florida goes like this. On July 2nd, 1951, Reeser's landlady, Pansy Carpenter, dropped by her apartment to deliver a telegram. When Carpenter arrived, nobody answered. She put her hand on the doorknob and found it to be unusually hot, so she called the police. When police arrived at the apartment located at 1200 Cherry Street, they found 67-year-old Mary Reeser burned to death in a mysterious fire. Reports said that her body was disintegrated by a blaze of white-hot intensity. Not much of Reeser remained. There was one slippered foot, which curiously showed no signs of charring, as well as part of her spine, and a piece of her skull remained and was described as shrunken. Though the apartment was very warm when the police arrived, the majority of it remained intact. Plastic household items near the seat Reeser was sitting in had softened and lost shape, but the rest of the room was seemingly unaffected by the flames that engulfed Mary Reeser. The rug had a scorch mark on it. A chair and an end table in the middle of the scorch mark were upright. Since it requires 3 to 4 hours of temperatures around 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit for a body to be cremated, the case has baffled authorities. Due to the mysterious circumstances of the case, it's been suspected that Reeser was a victim of spontaneous human combustion. This is when a person bursts into flames from a chemical reaction in their body without any apparent ignition or an external heat source. Though there have been accounts of alleged human combustion since 1963, not all scientists are convinced. Chief Cass Burgess was the detective on Reeser's case at the time. This fire is a curious thing, he told reporters. Burgess and his team sent boxes of material from the apartment to FBI labs in Washington, D.C. for chemical analysis. Some of the materials included a portion of the rug, rubble from the walls, and segments of the chair Reeser was sitting in at the time of her death. The public was infatuated with the case as well. Coroner Ed Silk reported that at least 15 amateur detectives had phoned him with their own theories. The detective team put out a statement saying that it was accidental death by fire of unknown origin. Burgess said that it didn't mean they were concluding the investigation. They were just putting out a release so that a burial could take place. The FBI determined that Reeser's death wasn't the result of spontaneous human combustion. However, the actual case still remains a mystery. The FBI believed that Mary Reeser's own body fat provided the fuel for the fire that consumed her after possibly lighting a cigarette and falling asleep. She was set on fire, and once the body became ignited, almost complete destruction occurred from its own fatty tissues. It is true that human fatty tissue is highly combustible, even more so in heavier people, and Reeser was a robust woman weighing about 170 pounds. While the FBI's explanation had a certain logic to it, it still only provided a partial explanation, as certain anomalies remained. For instance, a pile of newspapers stacked next to Reeser's chair remained completely unscorched. Dr. Wilton M. Krogman, a professor of physical anthropology at the University of Pennsylvania and an experienced fire researcher, disagreed with the FBI's conclusion. Krogman wrote that of all the fire deaths he had investigated, I cannot conceive of such complete cremation without more burning of the apartment or surrounding areas. It's been almost 70 years since Mary Reeser died. So was it spontaneous human combustion? Given how long it's been since her death, it seems unlikely the true case will ever be determined. Do you think it was spontaneous human combustion? So, yeah, spontaneous human combustion. I don't know. Is it real? Apparently it is. There's like multiple cases of it. And I find it hard to believe that, just sitting there smoking a cigarette and you fall asleep. I could see, starting a fire, burning the house down, or burning the crap out of yourself. But I don't see how that would maybe light yourself on fire. I don't know. I guess it could happen, but I don't know. Kind of seems far fetched. Spontaneous combustion. I don't know exactly how it happens, but apparently it does.
It happens a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, there's tons of cases of it. That would, like if a cigarette caused the fire, yeah, you think, a fire that would like totally cremate a body, that's a pretty hot ass fire to be started by a cigarette. Maybe if you like doubt.
Well, the bed, was it on a bed?
She was in a chair. And
Like a lounge chair?
yeah.
It's the stuffing that becomes like your cremation box, like either a mattress. It's the perfect, the springs, something with springs and all that insulation, the foam and all that in there. It becomes the perfect temperature to cremate a body.
Yeah. Or like Keith says, too much sriracha on the sushi.
Well, yeah, that too. I just lost my nail.
I had sriracha on some chicken nuggets earlier today.
After that ghost pepper pizza last night?
Yeah. I kind of like it spicy sometimes.
I guess so.
Yeah. I made a pizza last night and bought this pizza sauce at the store and brought it home and like put it on the pizza and made this nice, somewhat healthy pizza on like a tortilla thing, and took a bite of it and was like, wow, that's a little spicy. And I looked at the pizza sauce. It was ghost pepper pizza sauce. So that would explain the spiciness. But yep, I ate it.
Would have killed me.
It was good. Pizza for the win, exactly. Even hot pizza. But I like peppers and hot stuff, so. Although I tried some Dave's Insanity sauce one day when I used to work at the t-shirt place. And I ate a whole spoonful of it. And man, talk about a life-changing experience.
Oh, God.
But I was like, I'm at work and I'm dragging ass. I'm like, it's one of those days.
Blow up my ass?
Yeah. It's one of those days where you look at the clock and you feel like you've been there for 10 hours already. And you realize you've only been there for like 2 hours and it's not even lunchtime yet. It was one of those days where I was just really dragging. And yeah, we always had hot sauce at work, we'd like try to bring in the hottest hot sauce. And there was a bottle of Dave's Insanity sauce there. And they were like, oh yeah, you won't make it past this stuff. Just try a drop or two. And I was like, I was gonna be a big shot. And I just grabbed a spoon and poured a whole spoonful and put it in my mouth. And everybody was like, no. I lived through it.
Was it all in slow motion too?
Yeah. No. Yeah, I lived through it, and I sweated a lot, and snot was coming out of everywhere.
I bet. I bet.
But you know what, man? I had a lot of energy after that. I was no longer tired. They kicked the endorphins in.
For real?
Oh, yeah. I was good to go for the rest of the day. couldn't taste food for the next week, but I was good to go. Yeah, ghost peppers. I grew a couple of ghost peppers here, and my ghost pepper plant is actually it's still alive, but it's not producing many peppers. I guess they're just too damn hot or something. I don't know,
I
but
can't even handle a jalapeno seed in some salsa.
yeah, yep. I like jalapenos. I a guy that used to work for me a long time ago, we'd go to lunch and he would order like nachos, like a bowl of just nachos and cheese, and then he would order a bowl of jalapenos, like sliced jalapenos, and he would put like 4 slices of jalapeno on one chip. He was an alcoholic and he drank a whole
Um,
lot. So I was like, dude, you have like a cast iron stomach and no
mhm.
taste buds, right? He's like, oh yeah, I love these. I can taste them. But I do like jalapenos. I like the flavor. Those and daddle peppers. Daddle peppers are way hotter, but they do have a really good flavor.
My dad would eat that stuff, the hot mustard, till he'd stop. He would see him change like 3 colors, until like a certain purple or red. He'd stop breathing and then be like, "Are you all right?" He'd start breathing again and eat some more.
Yep.
I don't know how y'all do it or why.
Yep. Yeah. Have you ever watched anybody ever watched the like the pepper challenges on YouTube? There's some pretty funny ones. The guys that do hot pepper reviews. Yes, there is such a thing.
Like Fear Factor, I've watched those type of things, but not like pepper eating contests or nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Look it up on YouTube sometimes. There's these guys, I can't think of their names now. I mean, there's a bunch, but there's like some really, the really big shot guys that do like hot pepper reviews and stuff. And they like have a whole pepper, and they're just chopping it up and eating it like hardcore. And yeah, some of them, there's the barf bucket is sitting there.
I was gonna ask, do they have a barf bucket?
Yeah. Yeah. See there? Ulrich says I read that hot chili releases hormones like dopamine afterwards to dampen the pain. Yeah, I don't know. The pain
Oh,
was
for a
there.
little reward.
Yeah,
That's kind of kinky.
Yeah, the pain was there, but it definitely kicks the endorphins in because I was really like dragging, and after that spoonful of this nitroglycerin, man, I had a lot of energy.
Now, if there's a way I could like coat my tongue in my mouth and my throat, and some kids I know tried that. They put butter or some stuff all in their mouth. They thought they were gonna stop the pepper. It didn't work.
Yeah.
But if I could do that, I'd eat the pepper for the other parts.
Yep. Yep. It's a natural high. Maybe that's why I like hot stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keith. Some of those guys are hardcore, man. Whew. It's funny. My buddy that is building my custom base for me out in Texas. Every year, he didn't do one this year, but he usually on his anniversary each year. This was a 16-year anniversary, and he usually does a video, and he has like a dozen different hot sauces, and he puts it on pizza. And he didn't do it this year, but last year's was hilarious because by the time he got to the end of it, and he's a hot sauce guy, he likes hot sauce, but yeah, every year he does one, and by the end of the video, he like saves the hottest ones for last. And by the end of the video, man, he looks like he's about ready to pee his pants. It's pretty hilarious. But he like builds up. Yep, I always have a jar of pickled jalapenos in the fridge. Actually, right now I have a ton of jalapenos in the fridge. My brother gave me like probably 50 of them. I haven't used them for anything yet.
I like the garlic stuffed olives. I always have like those big fat stuffed olives in there, or a big jar of those little green ones with the red thing in it.
Yep. I like jalapeno stuffed olives.
You're just a glutton for what do they say? Glutton for punishment.
Yep.
Bring it. Bring it.
Yeah. Thailand. If you eat Thai food, man, some of that stuff is insanely spicy hot. You don't like hot food and you go to a Thai restaurant, you got to be really careful what you order there. No wonder they have like coconut soup and stuff to drench your pain with some of those dishes. Oh yeah, rice and beans. Can't ever go wrong with that.
I was just saying the same thing.
Beans and rice. I got this, they call it salsa, but it's Lozano salsa. And I used to get it when I went to Costa Rica, but now you can find it in places here. And the local grocery store just had it on clearance for, I don't know, $3.99 a bottle. I got like 6 big bottles of it. And it's not hot or spicy or anything. It's like the perfect thing to put on beans and rice, black beans and rice. But it kind of, in a way, almost tastes like A1 sauce in a way, but different. It's a weird sauce, but it's not like hot or anything. So
I'm just not like we talked about yesterday.
yep. Yeah, whenever I go to Taco Bell, I'd always get fire sauce, and they'd be like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Dude, it's fire sauce from Taco Bell. It's not that hot.
It's not that hot.
It's not that hot.
It's
I
not
got stuff at the house that's like 10 times hotter." Yes, I'm sure.
It's not even fun if my mouth starts to burn and like I start going and like salivating and all that and biting your tongue. Like, dude, that's not fun.
Yeah,
Like, how do you not like just have your whole tongue fall out?
yeah, Keith's comment there. You know, Keith, you were here like for a few of the kite contests that we did here, kite events or whatever. And after one of them one year, I think you were here. We had like the award ceremony or whatever at Beef O'Brady's a couple of times. And Chef and me, this is a friend of Keith and mine's. Me and Chef went down. His name's Mark, but everybody calls him Chef, and he is actually a chef. We went to Beef O'Brady's after that event, and we we got chicken wings, and the waitress came out, and he's like, "I want them really hot," and she's like, "Well, we have mild, medium, and hot, and then we can make them really hot if you really want them hot." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I want you to make them as hot as you can." She looks at me. I'm like, I'm good with
His last words.
Yeah, I'm good with like medium or so. I'm good. I'm not feeling suicidal today. So she brought out the wings and we started eating them. And our friend Mark, he's a pretty big dude, bald head, and he's over there eating these wings. And I look over at him and there's like beads of sweat pouring off his bald head. I'm like, "How are those wings, buddy?" He's like, "Oh, they're pretty good." I'm like, "Dude, you look miserable right now." Oh man. Yeah, after like by the time he was finishing the wings, he was like like, "You're not gonna stroke out or something on me, are you?" But he finished them. I think it was just one of those things where, he ordered them, so by damn it, he was gonna eat them all. But he was not looking pleasant at all. And yes, I did laugh.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Hey, you ordered them. You said you'd eat them as hot as they make them."
And then you'd have to eat them or you'd be called a
Yeah.
PU.
Yeah, were you there then, Keith? I remember I was laughing so hard. He was just pouring sweat. All right. So you want to do the voices from beyond?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Got a little video to let you guys know about this one.
I can eat my hot pocket while that's running.
Hot pocket.
It was 12 for $5.99, not 14. But still.
Okay. Still, that's a still exceptional deal. All right, let's see if this one will work.
If Agnes Kennedy had something she believed you liked, you may as well have considered it yours. Whether clothing or some trinket, the bubbly young mother of 4 and grandmother of 2 not only make the other person take what she offered, but in the end leave them feeling like they'd done her a very big favor. Always neat and well-groomed, Aggie also had an abounding sense of humor, reflecting her beauty on both inside and out. Her genuine, almost perpetual smile lifted the spirits of everyone she met. After graduating from Davenport High School, she had gone on to Iowa State University, where she earned her teaching degree. At William Junior High School in Davenport, where she began her teaching career, she quickly found her niche with underprivileged students and those who needed additional help. She seemed to have an uncanny ability to understand things from other people's perspectives, whether young teens or adults, and offered her assistance and encouragement whenever it seemed appropriate. Her kindly demeanor reflected a genuine interest in the welfare of others as well as a commitment to her work. She left a mark on hundreds of young students during the years she taught school and continued to support the underdog long after she quit teaching. By the age of 26, divorced and with 3 small children of her own, Kennedy had reached the point where she couldn't afford to pay her bills and support herself and her children. She made what she called a moral compromise. She quit her job at the school and went to work in a quote massage parlor, where she acknowledged a 2005 interview with a reporter from the Dispatch was basically a front for prostitution. The days moved quickly in December 07 with Christmas fast approaching. There were still gifts to buy and wrap. Kennedy went to work on Saturday, December 22nd, never imagining how the day would end. Later that night, just 3 days before Christmas, a couple returning home for the evening found the former teacher's unresponsive body in an alley in the 1800 block between West 7th and 8th Streets in Davenport. The call came into police about 8:30 p.m. Kennedy was transported to Davenport's Genesis Medical Center, where she was pronounced dead. And that's the West Campus. In a press release the following day, Davenport Police Captain Struckman said, "Due to the suspicious nature of the death and many unanswered questions, the death is being investigated as a homicide. Autopsy results showed Kennedy had been strangled." Police continue to gather physical evidence all throughout the holiday weekend and interviewed those who knew Kennedy in attempts to determine her activities Saturday and Saturday night. On Wednesday, January 30, 2008, Jesse James Stewart of 1831 West 6th Street in Davenport was charged in U.S. District Court with distribution of crack cocaine. A federal judge ruled the 57-year-old Stewart to be held while police investigated his possible role in Kennedy's death. Davenport Police Sergeant Kevin Schmaltz testified that Stewart had a knack or a habit of beating prostitutes after giving them crack for sex or to clean his house. Small also testified that other prostitutes told police Stewart had contact with Kennedy the day she died. Stewart denied the allegation, telling police he'd been home watching movies with other prostitutes the day of Kennedy's murder. Police did not officially name Stewart as a suspect, but Small told the court that police were still actively investigating Kennedy's homicide and Stewart's role in it. On Sunday, September 28, 2008, Angus Kennedy's family and friends gathered at a park to remember Kennedy on what would have been her 52nd birthday, and also remind the public they were still awaiting justice for the murder. Quote, Agnes had an outrageous joy. She would come into the room and had this smile and eyes that sparkled, Kennedy's sister Kate said. She would always find humor and the happy side of everything. Viewers said it was hard for the family to lose her, but they needed to celebrate her because she was so important in their lives. She was a good person, and hopefully someone out there will see this and come up with some answers that will help us out, said her daughter. It's been a long 9 months without my mother, but she's in a good place, heaven, so we're just trying to get some answers solved. The family told WQAD that police had suspects, but not enough evidence to support a conviction just yet. Family members read words from a poem Kennedy had written in her journal and then released 52 balloons for the woman known to them as a mother, sister, and grandmother. They ended the day of the remembrance with a candlelight walk to the spot where Kennedy was found 9 months earlier. In December 2008, Detective Scott Williams from the Quad Cities Crime Stoppers announced a $10,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of Kennedy's killer. The Crime Stoppers Board of Directors provided the maximum $1,000. The family would provide the other $9,000. In February 2010, Judith Lang of 1624 West 49th Street in Davenport was charged with extortion and harassment for repeated phone calls to one of Kennedy's family members. She also was trying to sought out money, a car, or a stove in exchange for information about Kennedy's death. According to Scott County court records, Lang repeatedly called the family member even after being told the information she wanted payment for was incorrect. Lang would often yell at the family member during some of the calls. The Dispatch Argus reported on February 26, 2010. Ms. Lang also made statements such as saying that she understood why Miss Kennedy was killed because of people like the family member. Lang eventually was arrested and charged with trying to extort money from the family of a murder victim. On June 8, 2011, former car salesman Chad Michael Lee Welsh was charged with strangling Anna Jahens, another Davenport woman who worked as a prostitute, in January 2007. On Tuesday, April 17, 2012, a Scott County District Court jury found Welsh guilty of first-degree murder. Welsh had been linked to Hen's death through DNA tests after he was convicted of possessing child pornography and sent to prison. Now the Davenport killer is being eyed in Kennedy's slaying, as well as a couple other people. Davenport police told the Times that the slaying of Hens in some way was similar to the other two women's killings. Two construction workers driving along a slough on South Concord Street in Davenport discovered Nicholson's body on November 12, 2001. Clothed in a sweatshirt, shorts, and socks, Nicholson lay partially submerged in Mississippi River backwater near Credit Island, about 75 feet from the road. She too had been strangled, and her killer was never caught. Lieutenant Wall said Welsh previously wasn't listed as a suspect in Kennedy's slaying, and that the police also had another person of interest in her case. Agnes Anderson, that's her whole name. Agnes Anderson Lashbrook McFreedes was born September 28, 1956 in Davenport. She had impeccable penmanship and a special flair for art and decorating. Her greatest attribute, however, was her abiding generosity. Agnes enjoyed baseball, long walks, music, the arts, reading, frequented directing the John Lewis Coffee Shop and helping people in need. She believed in God and she shared pamphlets of faith with others. In earlier years, she also had been a member of the First Church. Survivors included her children. And then they talk about the viewings. Information needed. There is a $10,000 reward for a tip leading to the arrest and conviction of Agnes Kennedy's killer. If you have any information about her death, please contact Quad Cities Crime Stoppers at 309-762-9500 or the Davenport Police Department at 563-326-7979.
So there is a little bit of info about the cold case we're going to do with Ghostbox.
If we hear little things like knowing that she liked penmanship, all that type of stuff, like little keywords that we might hear for validation, they gave a lot of information. I had to re-record that 3 freaking times today.
Yeah, I had issues with mine as well.
All right. So as usual, Rob and I both have the same 20 questions that we're each going to ask on our ends. I am using Spiritus. Remember where I sent my questions. Well, I sent them to you, so it has to be there no matter what. All right.
Yeah, who knows? The family was asking if anybody has any clues or anything to help the case. Who knows? We'll do a ghost box session, and who knows? May not get anything, may get something that could be of importance. That's why we do these.
Welcome to Spiritus. I was well.
How's that sound?
Good on my end. You guys hear it in the chat room? Everybody hear it in the chat room?
Hello, hello. Do you want to help us answer the questions now? Will you help us connect with that woman?
Sound like they said ask.
Huh?
Sound like they said ask.
I gotta get those headphones. Can you tell me can you tell us who killed Agnes? What were some of the suspects' names too, Jesse?
Keep hearing ask over and over.
Who knows what happened to Agnes? Pain? What happened to her? Did a client do this to her? If it was a client, who was it? Was the alleyway a secondary crime scene? Was she just dumped out there after? Come in and talk in here. Did the murder occur in a vehicle? Did she die inside the car?
That's all.
If it was inside of a vehicle, do you know what the vehicle looked like? What kind of vehicle or color or model? Do you know what the car might have looked like? Anything identifying that stands out on the vehicle? How many people were involved in her death? Sound like two and then one. Only one. How many people were involved in her death? Do you know why she was killed? Do you know what the motive was? Is Jesse James Stewart involved? Is that guy involved? Did you say Jess or Jeff? Who was the last person to see her alive? Do other prostitutes know what happened, but they're scared to talk, maybe? Did it happen at Stewart's home? Did he allegedly kill her in the home? If so, were there other prostitutes there when it happened? Were there other girls in the house when she was killed? Was Judith Lang involved? Does Judith know what happened to Agnes? Did convicted killer Chad Welsh have involvement or kill her? Chad Welsh? Who killed Agnes?
Terry,
Said Edith for a split second. I was singing the Judith name. I was like, what? Who killed her? Edith? What clues are being overlooked that would help the investigators? Is there something that's being looked over? What could help catch her killer? What could help catch? Are there any messages or information that investigators should know? Because we want to bring justice for Agnes and closure for her family. Are there any messages that need to be relayed? This is your time. Okay, I'm going to shut down. Thank you. And then Rob's going to ask some questions. In 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Cool. There's some interesting ones in there. All right. I'm going to pretty much ask the same questions that Jamie asked. And again, we're trying to find any clues about who killed Agnes. And hopefully, there might be something in here that could, help the family bring some closure. All we can do is try.
Fears. Face your fear.
Face your fears.
You don't do that.
see,
What's my
All right, spirits. Can you tell us who killed Agnes?
then
knees,
throat.
Little problem. Intuition.
Hugo.
Hugo?
But no.
Is there someone?
Yeah,
Is there someone who knows what happened to her?
Driven them your creation sensation.
Good, yes. Can you tell us who knows what happened to her?
See?
Did a client do this to her? And if so, can you give us a name?
Anything.
Pair. Show.
What did I say? 5, 9. No, not a single. For you, both of yours.
Face your feet.
Pair.
Face your fears again.
Someone.
Was the alleyway a second crime scene?
You.
What did I say?
What?
Pam. Who the f-
As.
Did the murder occur in a vehicle?
Alex.
No? Car now.
Maybe.
This reading meanings.
10.
If it was in a vehicle, can you tell us what kind, type, color, make, model, any identifying features on the vehicle?
Nip.
What?
Just.
Like,
Next.
with your name, sure that they match, just to make sure.
What?
So, Pam.
Did she say blood at
Yeah.
first?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe we just take.
Be left so that I can.
Well,
How many people were involved in her death?
Of your.
Yeah.
Say,
So, yeah.
anxiety.
Relax. Such a. 6.
zip.
Oh, that's bad. Attic.
Can you tell us why she was killed?
Zip. Problems to come out. And you can say. You.
When she said, say,
Was Jesse James Stewart involved?
say, intuition.
Done.
Well, this
And then.
Sure.
Right. Now you can.
I'm just gonna. So,
Who was the last person?
usually confused.
Who was the last person to see Agnes alive?
so.
Hi.
Like, so, for
Gemma.
terror.
Nice. Ernie. Nip.
Are there other prostitutes that knew what happened but are afraid to talk?
Hold up.
What?
Maps.
There's the two.
So. Please.
That almost sounded like something starting there.
Feel I want you
Like,
to
no, we all know what to do.
Reese,
It's the two.
when like a gust to the reason.
Did it happen at Stewart's home?
Clear. Higher stitches here and top.
yes,
Nurse.
Paul.
What?
Save. I would choose.
Smith.
Yeah.
This.
and you can say, no,
Like that. Anything.
Lori heard we all know what you did. Can you tell us who you is? Who you're talking about?
Say to is just
for you.
Can you say his name?
Me.
3, 20,
Was.
Noise.
As you
Were there other prostitutes there when this happened?
fire.
Test.
the window.
It's all calm.
Hey.
We just
Except
went like a gust of
Was Judith Lang involved?
relaxation.
No. Yeah.
go
But
go open or in a red
doing
and be beyond
No.
sea.
Does Judith know what happened to Agnes?
So of
Curiosity for up. These.
I just heard something about Agnes.
sleep. Yes.
Within the last 14 minutes, we'll have to remember.
Now,
Did the convicted killer Chad Welsh have
and then you
involvement?
get rid of some. Yeah.
Yes.
No, no.
Again, can you tell us the name of who killed Agnes?
It's covered.
The
Window.
that
well, Paul.
Are there any clues that are being overlooked that would help with the investigation?
And when?
Of hiring.
Is this?
Two.
That was
In.
all right, spirits. Thanks for talking with us. We're going to close the session
Completely. Not completely.
in 3,
Please. But not
2,
like some.
1. Thank you, spirits.
Don't mind.
Thought it was going to keep going there for a minute. I heard some weird things in that one for sure.
Yeah,
And I know I heard the name Agnes in there.
that's what I want to go back to because we didn't clip out the other show. I don't even remember now which it was when we did get the names of one of the ones we were doing and we're gonna clip it out. We never did.
Yep.
So if we do get her name on that, it's just a good promo.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Yeah, you guys in the chat were hearing a lot of stuff. Thanks for your help.
Yeah, the thing about she lied. A few people heard she lied. See, she lies. Some said she lied. Well, that would be a reason a prostitute might get knocked off, especially like crack and stuff. Someone thinks you're a snitch. I don't know. Like that
Yeah.
could be something to go along with it.
Yep.
Or they lied in the car during the transaction. Like she said she would do something for something and maybe she didn't do it and she got her ass tossed out. Or
Yeah. You never know. Yeah, like I was telling Jamie earlier, there was a, I think, not 100% sure, there was a double homicide here yesterday. I was heading out for band practice, and like the street I was going down, like every cop in the city was flying by me. Like everybody had to pull over, and it was just a train of police officers and sheriff's deputies and SWAT and this and like it'd have been a great time to rob a bank because all the cops were going to this one scene. And apparently, right down the road from where I live, as usual, it's Florida, right? Apparently, some kind of deal went bad in the parking lot, and one person shot two other people. And I know one of them has passed away, and I heard today that the other one passed away. I'm not 100% sure on that yet. But yeah, right down the road from my house. And last week it was the shooting at the Amazon warehouse here. That was apparently like a domestic murder suicide type thing. Why not go to work and do it, right? You know. But I did read that even during the shooting and everything that happened, the Amazon warehouse stayed open and kept running.
I was
Like,
gonna say, just look at their
nothing that-
packages on time.
yeah, can't have late packages just because somebody got shot and killed.
Somebody ends up with like a round in their box
Yeah, exactly. You never know.
or blood spatter on the outside.
Scary.
No more just randoms showing up though, huh?
No,
All of a sudden COVID happened and all the maybe it's because whoever got scared of the COVID and didn't want to kill people anymore because he was afraid he'd get COVID from him.
yeah,
And then his karma would turn around, he would die. Because right around that time is when all the mysterious bodies stopped being found, in the bay or whatever, face down in the sand.
there's been a couple, but nothing like what it was there. Man, it was like one or two a week there for like several, like for a month or two easily.
There's still random like deaths like that though.
Yeah, not nothing like it was. But they have found a couple of people deceased.
Well, see, maybe he took a break and now he's coming back out.
Yep. Who knows? I find it weird too that, I mean, I'm not saying that COVID's not real because it obviously is, but we've got a pretty big homeless community here. And I haven't heard of any of them getting sick. Maybe it's because,
They're outside.
they're homeless, they live outside. Maybe their immune systems are better than ours. I don't know. I mean, I don't think staying in a house confined and cleaning every little single thing, I don't think that's good for you.
It's not.
It is to a certain extent, but you can way overdo it, and I think you're making your immune system weaker.
When you bathe your children in Purell from the beginning, like me and my buddy were talking about this on the way the other day. It's like, we drank from hoses, we swallowed the pincher bugs, we rode in the beds of the trucks. we rode bikes without helmets. You know, we got dirty. We
Yep.
ate the dirt under our nails. I mean, we did a lot of gross, bad stuff, and I think that's why we can endure what we endure. But
Yeah.
then the kids that are constantly babied and just overly done are the kids that you always see getting sick as hell.
Yeah. Yeah. There is a lot of kids that are sick. A lot. I was beginning to freak out, like you remember me a year ago, man. I was sick like the whole year. I was thinking, I'm done for.
Yeah.
I was sick 8 months out of the whole year. Wasn't a good year. So
No, you were sick longer than me because I had started October, got the second round in like February or March, and then it went to like June by the time the last of it was gone.
yeah. Yeah, the last stuff I had. I mean, I went and had a flu test. I mean, they shoved the lady at the clinics. This is gonna suck. She's like, "Have you ever had a nasal swab test before?" I'm like, "No, I haven't." She's like, "It's not going to be fun. I'm just going to tell you that." And I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "Just don't move while I'm doing it." And yeah, man, she shoved
Oh
that thing
God.
up my nose, and like, I'm surprised I didn't have that.
Oh, don't say it. Don't say the cranial fluid drippage.
Yeah, surprised she didn't poke my brain because it was like way like the swab thing was like this long, and she had it like her fingers were up against my nose.
Oh God. Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh no.
it was not fun. So, but yeah, I had that. She was like, "Oh dear, yeah, you have the flu." And then I came down with pneumonia.
Mm-hmm.
I was sick, and I think I might have had the freaking COVID or something.
I think I did too. Remember, I was supposed to fly out your way, and I was like so sick,
Yep.
and I ended up getting this tattoo at that time. But my lungs were. Remember how bad my lungs were that it hurt. Like I couldn't sleep, and I
Yep.
was like crying. I'm like, I've never felt lung pain like this in my life.
Yeah.
And I couldn't breathe in or anything. That was that same period. That's after we had all the contrail planes doing their waffle grids in the air, all that stuff.
Yep.
I think we had COVID that year.
Yeah. Because it was right before everything.
Because I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, that's the sickest I think I've ever been. I mean, it hurt.
And I kept saying, this is not normal. This is not
Yeah.
a normal flu. This is not a normal flu. This is not
Exactly.
normal bronchitis.
Yep. Yeah, I remember talking, and I'm like, I don't remember ever feeling like this, ever.
You got it 3 waves was the thing. Like
Yeah.
you hit it, you got it the 3rd time. A lot of people stopped after the 2nd or the 1st. Some got the 2nd. You went all the way to the 3rd, to
Yeah.
where yours was like a year about.
I was hitting all the bases. I was trying for a home run.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, I mean, there was a few nights, like a good week and a half, that I just pretty much I couldn't sleep. I could sleep, but I had to sleep sitting up. I didn't trust myself to go to sleep because I thought I was gonna like not be able to breathe and die in my sleep or something. It sucked. And after you don't sleep for a while, then you start your brain really.
Hallucinating.
Yeah. So on top of that, yeah, Lori, you were sick for a while too. A bunch of us were in here. Weird. My nephew went to Hawaii. He goes to Hawaii every year to go surfing, and I mean, he is like fit. He is like as healthy as they come, and he goes to Hawaii and usually stays for a couple of months or so over the winter during the big wave season there. And he went surfed the first day, surfed a little bit the next morning, and went and laid down because he felt like crap. And he ended up coming home after a week. He was so sick he couldn't get out of bed. And who knows, he was sick for a long time when he came home, and he's still not 100% over it. He still has like stomach issues and some other things. So who knows?
We got 11 minutes
Yeah.
or 14 minutes.
Pull a couple of cards if you want. We don't have a whole lot of time left.
Yeah, we got a little time.
Yeah, Lori, I was wiped out. I had no, and like getting up and walking from one room to the other was like, I felt like I had worked a 32-hour day. Ridiculous. I remember one day I felt good. Well, not good, but I felt gooder. I felt better. I'm like, okay, I got it beat. And I went out and cut the grass. Huge mistake.
All right, we've got about 10 minutes to do some card readings if anybody would like. We're doing first come, first serves.
I'm going to be using the Wisdom Keepers Oracle cards.
I'm going to stick with the Moonology one because this has been on fire for me.
Keep getting a warning on here that says can't post comments to some destinations. Don't know what that means.
All right. We've got Raw, Lori, and Azriana.
Lori says she wants a card from me. Lori says she wants a card from me. All right. Whoa, you got the mirror card. Let's do another one. I forgot I had that one in there. Okay, let's do this one. It is the Equality card. And again, here's what the face on it looks like. And it says, since we're running short on time, I'm just going to read the gift of the card. The gift is equality. Shadow is weakness. Shadow is tenderness. And the gift of the card is I am your friend. I have deep respect for you. I don't want you to change who you are at your core. You are completely unique, worthy being. You are completely unique, worthy being, and there is a place for you in this world of ours. I see you with deep tendencies. It's time to take your place with pride, humanity, and profound self acceptance. When you look at yourself and see your weakness and your vulnerability, see it as your strengths. When you look out at the world, see beyond polarities, beyond gender, stereotypes, beyond patriarchy and matriarchy. Aim your eye towards synthesis to the center obtainium of human beauty available to all of us. Equality, God, I can't say that word, is your birthright. You and me, we are family, and I need my glasses. Okay, Lori, I hope that made sense as I seem to have butchered that one pretty good. I mean, my shoes and my glasses.
My shoes and my glasses.
And I'm not seeing my glasses. Okay, who are you going to do? How do you like to worry?
What's that?
I say, which one are you going to do?
I've got Rawl. Let me see his little profile picture. A win-win outcome is in the forecast. Full moon in Libra card. That sounds pretty promising. The full moon in Libra, the sign of partnership, of falling in love, and of closely relating to someone else. Since full moons are about climaxes and conclusions, this card suggests you're either about to start a new relationship or that an important existing relationship is changing somehow, perhaps coming to an end or moving to a new level of commitment. It's important to remember that people come to us for a reason, and sometimes just for a season. If a relationship is ending now, it's doing so at the right time, so try not to fight it. This card can also refer to a professional relationship. There is a sense that you need to balance your ego with someone else's needs. A win-win outcome is possible with give and take. Doing so might be the answer to your question. Attune to the moon, let go of which is falling away, and that's actually the trend right now for the next couple of months, especially with the next moons coming up. That's like a very important term right now. Additional meanings for this card: see the other person through the eyes of love. It will change your perspective. It's time for you to make a firm decision. Time for you to focus on yourself for a while. Look after yourself, but avoid vanity. Now is a great time for a makeover. The teaching: no matter when you pull the full moon card in Libra, it encourages you to find a balance between your desires and those of the people around you. Balance is a very Librian energy, and the full moon brings things to a peak. Dramas and upsets bring partnerships to the fore. Libra energy also brings love energy. Negotiations are easier. So I don't know if any of that resonates with you or not.
Ooh, cool. I'm going to pull one for Azuriana. Here is the face of the card. Naturalness. See if I can read this without my glasses this time. I got a light. Gift is naturalness. Shadow is self-obsession. The Siddha is being. The gift of this card, my gift to you. I see you striving to discover who you are. I know how difficult it can be to answer this deeply human question. While you're searching for yourself, do not forget to enjoy the journey. There will be a time when you can just let it all go. In the end, you are not what you do or what you know. You are not your thoughts, feelings, or beliefs, nor are you your looks or job description. Over time, as truth sinks in, as you stop arguing with your life, you will find yourself becoming more grounded, centered, and full of joy, more relaxed, free, and at ease. Whatever is in your heart, whatever you're meant to do or express, you will simply arise out of you. Naturalness. I'm here to remind you that you are far more splendid than your mind could ever grasp. You are authentic. Your authentic nature is destined to bloom and contribute to magnificent garden of which we're all part of. Graciously take a bow, get out of your own way, and let it happen.
And then I'm pulling one for Heather. And that was going to be the last one. But Diane came in asking, please, can I have a card? So, Rob, after I do um, Heather's right now, if you could do that for Diane, that would be awesome.
Will do. How's it going, man?
A new start is coming. New moon card. Just opened right to it. There is a yes coming your way. This is one of the most auspicious cards in the deck. It's totally positive and suggests something new and exciting is developing. The situation you're asking about is blessed, and you are on target to achieve your goals. The message from the universe is that you are starting all over again in some way, be that on a new or better course or just feeling more positive about achieving your desired outcome. If you've been feeling stagnant, this card reminds you that life goes in cycles and you're moving into a new cycle now. This is the time to wipe the slate clean. And this is the time to wipe the slate clean right now. If the situation you asked about has become toxic, either that will clear up now or something totally new and fresh is on its way. And we're also 8 days away from the new moon. Attuned to the moon. I'll see it when I believe it. Additional meanings for this card. A new start is on its way. You'll soon start to feel more hopeful about getting what you want. Your belief that your dreams can manifest is working well, and forget about the past. The teaching. The new moon marks the start of the waxing cycle and the midpoint of the dark moon. It's a dark and veiled time when the moon is invisible and a time of rebirth. It's a time that witches do their work, making wishes and laying down intentions for the new cycle. An intensely magical time when it's easier to pierce the veil to other worlds.
Cool. Got just enough time to do one more, and that's for Diane. And here. It is the magnetism card. Again, the gift of the card is magnetism. Shadow is dullness. The Sith is fluorescence. The gift from the card. A country girl like me can find magic in the dullest places, so can you. But I'm here to tell you that you might find that you mustn't fight the dullness or it won't work. You have to lean into it. You have to embrace it with your whole entire self. You have to slow down. I know it's hard. It may even feel scary. But if you do that long enough, without judging yourself or feeling lazy, you are very likely to find yourself feeling pretty excited about life with an irresistible magnetism gleaming out of your beautiful eyes, and you won't even need a reason for it. It's a short one, but hopefully it resonates in there something for you. Cool.
Well.
That about wraps us up for the evening, and we'll try and do a longer card session next week for another edition of Weird Wednesday. Unless the world blows up and catches on fire. And then we'll do it live from the Burning Inferno. Unless it sends our Ethernet cable. So there you go. There you have it. You didn't watch the debate tonight. If you're into that kind of thing, it was an interesting one. I'm going to go rewatch the first part because I missed it. Completely opposite of last debate, but nonetheless still an interesting one. You just didn't have them yelling at each other and talking over each other so much this time. So anyways, there you have it. We'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks again, everybody, for being here. And
Sunday we have Rita talking about the attachment spirits on Paranormal Soup.
Yes. You don't want to miss that. Last week's was pretty interesting, man. Gavin is an interesting dude. And we talked to him for a while after the show, too. That was pretty interesting as well. Got some insights from Gavin in the UK that kind of surprised me about the US and what all's going on here right now. It was interesting to hear from somebody over there their thoughts.
Another perspective.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so very much for being here, and we will see you next week for another Weird Wednesday. We'll see you Sunday night for Paranormal Soup with Jason Bland. Until then, bye-bye.